Hey there, everyone. How's it going? Happy Thanksgiving to those of you who are celebrating that here in the States. This is another repost from February of this year. So some of the things we talk about, like the deal to cook along with Chef Shirley, that has expired. We may have another one coming up in February 2023, but we'll see about that. So anyway, just wanted to let you know that some of the information here is a little bit dated, but hopefully you still enjoy listening to us chat with Chef Shirley and my sister Caryl, as well as super producer Madison. And so, happy Thanksgiving, everyone out there. And if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, go have some delicious food anyway. All right, talk to you soon. Hey everyone, welcome back to episode number 19, part 2, our episode on the food industry, restaurant industry, and we're joined again by my big sister Caryl, and she's worked pretty much all over the food industry, New York, LA, Las Vegas for the past 25 years, organizing food events and consulting for restaurants and different openings. So welcome back, Caryl. Thanks for joining us again.
Hi, everyone.
And joining us is Carol's good friend and dumpling soulmate. We have Chef Shirley Chung, who's worked at some of the most famous kitchens around California and elsewhere in Las Vegas. And she is the co-owner and chef of Miss Chi Cafe in Culver City, California. And she's also been up on Bravo's Top Chef season 11 and 14. So we're going to talk a lot more about that. But welcome back, Shirley.
Hi.
And we are also joined by high school student intern Madison. Welcome back, Maddie.
Hi, I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, Madison just got home from school. That's why she's a little late.
Yes, I did.
But welcome. She's going to help us do some editing on this, and that'll be fun. So we had a good time talking last week about the origin story of Shirley and Caryl, and we also talked a little Dumpling Mafia. So a little recap on that. Dumpling Mafia is a group including writer and podcaster Andy Wang. We have the three of them, and there are some other folks that come along. But if you would like to join the Dumpling Mafia and be a part of the Dumpling Mafia NFT, you can do so by going to their Instagram. What was the handle again? It was Dumpling Mafia NFT on Instagram?
That's it, at Dumpling Mafia NFT.
And if you join before February 17th, you can join a cook-along online with Chef Shirley from her restaurant, and you can cook her dumplings at home through Goldbelly. There's so many. If you go to the menu on Goldbelly, it all looks good, Shirley. What do you have a favorite? Do you have something that for the first timer that we should order? Or?
I mean, like my dumpling combo. So you kind of get the best. So you get like 20 packs of chicken dumpling. And then my jumbo cheese pot stickers, which is like a Top Chef winning dish. So it's one of our most popular dumplings from the sheep all across the board. So the dumpling combo from Goldbelly, definitely a great things to order. But lately, the popular thing is really my tea smoked duck.
Yeah.
We couldn't keep, we're so busy. Because I actually use Mary's Farm we all keep it in California. So, they have to personally call me and let me know that they cannot supply over 100 duck a week, and they have to apologize to me.
Yeah,
because I gave them a heads up. I've been telling them since October. I was like, hey, I'm gonna let you know throughout December to January, we're gonna go through over 100 duck a week, over 100 duck a week. You guys need to be ready. And they weren't ready.
That's a lot of ducks for a small group. But
yes, we're a small restaurant that sell a lot of duck.
Yeah, but it all looks good, and you can cook it at home. And in my opinion, dumplings is one of the things that holds up the best. When you freeze it, it tastes. I mean, not as good as fresh, but it tastes good. Yeah. So. Yeah, and we'll talk a little more about cheeseburger dumplings in a minute when we talk about Top Chef. But yeah, super fun. So join the Dumpling Mafia through their NFT, and you can get some access to Shirley as well as my sister Caryl, and you'll be able to be part of a very elite and limited group of people if you join the Dumpling Mafia. Last time we opened up with a lightning round. Today we're gonna open up. Let me open up this document. Hold on. We're gonna open up with some chef trivia.
Are there like prizes for this? I feel like we should earn prizes.
We're all winners. We're
I
all
know.
winners.
What? Chef trivia. Caryl is the best. Nobody can go against her. She's really good at trivia. I'm really bad.
She knows everyone and
We'll see. It's a lot of pressure.
I think these will be easy for you, for both of you. Maddie, do you have any? You ever watch Food Network or Top Chef or any of those things?
I used to watch MasterChef when I was little and like MasterChef Junior.
Oh, the little kids, yeah.
Yeah, and my parents like to watch a lot of cooking shows, so.
So you can flex on them at dinner tonight and say, hey, you know who I just talked to? I talked to
Yeah, exactly.
Shirley Chung. All right, are you ready? Question number 1 of our chef trivia. Which chef has, now I think this is cumulative, so even if they lost stars, it still counts as a star. Which chef has the most Michelin stars of all time?
I think it used to be Alain Ducasse. I don't know if it still is anymore.
I think he's number 2.
Who has more now?
Let me think. Well, he has a restaurant named after himself.
Robuchon.
Yeah, Robuchon.
Really?
Yeah, Ducasse is like Tokyo, and well, I guess Robuchon's in Tokyo too. Huh.
Well, and Ducasse has the distinction of being the only chef to send food to the International Space Station.
Wow.
Fun fact.
True story. I flew the Concorde on the day that it was relaunched, and he was the in-flight meal, and because it was like a press trip, so he was on my flight cooking us dinner on the Concorde.
On the Concorde.
It was not the space station, but it was. We did go from Paris to New York in 3 hours.
Wow.
Crazy.
And no one else can say that now because they're not flying anymore. All right, next question. Who was the first female chef to win the James Beard Award?
I'm going to say Lydia Bastianich.
Nothing local. Think Bay Area.
Alice Waters.
Alice Waters, Shea Panisse. Yeah.
Lydia. Interesting.
Yeah, first female. All right. The famous Beverly Hills Chinese restaurant, Mr. Chow.
Uh-huh.
What is Mr. Chow's first name?
I know the son's first name is Max.
It does start with an M.
Michael.
Michael Chow.
His first wife was Eva. And then his daughter was...
I was like, I know his son's name.
And Caryl, you just ate there over the holidays. Didn't you just eat at Mr. Chow?
Well, it was actually Peter's birthday.
That's right.
I do love that place. It's like, it's not even Chinese food.
Hollywood feel. It's like it's like a legendary. Yeah.
Served to you by Italian waiters in tuxedos and wildly overpriced, but it's so good. It makes no sense.
All right. I think you'll know this one, Shirley. Which award-winning chef began his culinary career at Stuff Your Face Pizzeria in New Jersey? Someone you've worked for.
One.
Mario Batali?
The Mario Batali.
By
Stuff
Rutgers.
Your Face.
He went to Rutgers.
All right. Now, this one might be hard. I'm going to name 4 names. Who has not appeared on Top Chef? All right. Who has not appeared on Top Chef? Jimmy Fallon, Ali Wong, Natalie Portman, or Tom Brady?
Tom Brady.
I'm going to say Tom.
Yeah,
Tom Brady.
I was going to say Tom Brady, because Jimmy Fallon's NBC Universal.
Yeah,
Ali Wong, I know.
Yeah.
You're going by affiliation.
Yeah, exactly. 100% totally.
Now, Gronkowski was on, but Tom Brady was not. So they have.
He's also just, his diet is so restrictive. He's on some anti-inflammatory vegan diet, so he probably couldn't
he doesn't eat anything. He haven't tasted. I remember I read something that he haven't tasted strawberries for like 20 years or something like that.
He doesn't eat nightshades.
I'm like, what's wrong with strawberries?
Oh man, but he's 44 years old, still playing football, so you can't argue with the evidence.
He's
there.
the GOAT.
All right, you guys did well on that. Well, you can relax now. The quiz is over. Woo! Everyone can relax. All right. So last week we started our conversation with Caryl and Shirley, and so we're gonna just pick up a little bit. So, Caryl, let's talk about your food events where anyone who showed up at these things. What was it like putting on these events in the 90s? Did you get starstruck at all when you're calling up Gordon Ramsay, or what was it like when you're in the 90s and you're hobnobbing with all these guys that are pretty big in the industry?
I think because I was doing it with Bon Appetit magazine, it was always kind of, I'm calling on behalf of this magazine. So I was able to sort of take that mantle on and
that clout.
Yeah, it was like, I'm just little me, but I am calling from Bon Appetit. You're going to return my call because I'm calling from this magazine. Yeah, no, it was good. But a lot of the times, honestly, you're not talking to the chef. You're talking to their assistant or, maybe someone in their office. And those people are really the gatekeepers, and the best chefs have a really well-run organization all the way down to their office. So.
You have a good story for us, a fun story about a way you met someone, or.
So I will tell you how I met Gordon Ramsay.
Okay.
It was 1998, I think. He was very famous in London, but he was not famous in America yet. He had no shows over here, and he was, and his restaurants in London were very famous, expensive and sort of exclusive. So even in England, not a lot of people knew who he was. He did his first cookbook release in America because England uses the metric system. They have to translate the books to American chefs, so American cooks can use them. So it was kind of a big deal. It was his first book in America. Yeah, and he was doing his book release party on Halloween. And it was just the weird timing, but the party in New York was in Halloween at Restaurant Danielle. It's a very fancy French restaurant on the Upper East Side. And I was working with Bon Appetit. So I went with a couple of our editors, and a group of us all went after work. And the cocktail party was maybe from 6 to 8, with little canapes and champagne with your pinky out. And it was a very kind of fancy night. And after a couple hours, we were saying our goodbyes, and we knew there was this party being hosted downtown in Soho by Veuve Clicquot, the champagne. And they hosted an annual Halloween party called Yellowween because their labels are kind of orange for their champagne. So they just used it as an excuse to throw Halloween parties. So we're getting ready to go. And Danielle's like, well, where are you going? And he's like, we said, well, we're just going to go down to the Veuve Clicquot party, but we're probably going to grab like a burger or something first. Cause we've been eating these little teeny canapes and we're kind of hungry. And he's like, no, eat dinner here. And we're like, oh, chef, thank you. That's a really expensive dinner. We're like, chef, thank you. It's very generous, but we'll just go and we'll see you down there. He's like, no, because Gordon wants to come too. So just wait. And then we'll all go together. Just have a bite in the bar. We're like, just a bite in the bar. It's like, okay. So we sit in the bar, and then the waiters come over, they're like tablecloth and like all these place settings with multiple forks. And we're like, oh dear. And it's like 8 o'clock, but like suddenly we're having a 5-course, 6-course dinner. And then it's like 11 o'clock. And finally at 11, Danielle comes back out of the kitchen and is like, okay, I'm just going to get dressed. I have a limo that's going to come pick us up, and then we'll all go together. So like 11:30, we finally get in this limo. We drive down to Soho, and actually a couple of the people from the dinner were like, it's 11:30. It's like Tuesday. I got to go home. So we lost a couple of people. We get in the limo. We go down to this party. We make like 11:45. It ends at midnight. We get there just in time for 1 glass of champagne. And there's a couple pictures of us from that night at that party. And then we're like kicked out. It's like, it's over. And Danielle's like, oh, no. I know what we'll go to. I have this great bar. And he looks at Gordon and he says, it's like a British pub. You're going to love it. And Gordon's like, oh, all right, mate, let's go. Yeah, sounds great. So we get back in the limo, and we're all in kind of suits because we've come from the office and then gone to this fancy cocktail party. So no one's in costume. We're just like in suits. We show up at this bar in the meatpacking district of New York. It's called Hogs and Heifers, which is, if you can, as you might imagine, it's a biker bar. It's not unlike Coyote Ugly, if you've ever seen that movie. It is known as a biker bar. Girls stand on the bar, and the thing about Hogs and Heifers is a giant moose head behind the bar, and women take their bras off and hang them on the antlers. So actually, when you look, you can't even see it's a moose. All you see is a bunch of bras. And some women are kind of coy and do it under their shirt and just pull it out, and then hang it on the boot. And some women, Okay. So this is what this bar is known for. And the bartenders are also verbally abusive to the patrons. So one of the gals is like, she's jumped up on the bar and she's got she actually has a megaphone. And she's like, she kind of yells at patrons and calls them out. So Danielle goes and gets this all Pabst Blue Ribbon in cans, and there's sawdust on the floor. There's Johnny Cash on the jukebox, and it's just a dive bar. And Gordon's like kind of looking around like, this is not like an English pub, mate. Like, and a couple of my friends are just like, what are we doing? And Danielle's like, isn't this great? So he starts yelling at the girls on the, I don't know if this part's a little bit, he starts yelling at the girls on the bar, hey, show us your, like, take off your bras, and the waitress is like, you're not man enough. You wouldn't know what to do. So they just go back and forth. And finally he gets kicked out. Like the bouncer comes over and is like, sir, you have to leave now. And he's like, yeah, not kicked out. And his publicist is with us. And she's like, oh, this is so going to be in page 6, like the gossip page tomorrow. She's like, this is a terrible story. So that's how I met Gordon Ramsay. Fast forward, I'm at the Cosmopolitan. Snow Patrol is having a concert on the pool deck, and he's in Vegas opening his restaurant at the Caesars next door. And he was invited, so he's over. We're kind of hanging out in this like VIP cabana, and he's like, "Wait, so where did we meet again?" And I'm like, I think it was your restaurant in London on the Royal Hospital Road. He's like, "No, I don't think." I was like, was it when I worked at Bon Appetit magazine? I did an event. And he's like, no. And I'm like, Chef, was it Halloween in Soho? He's like, oh my God, that's where we met.
And he still remembers it. All right.
He was like, wait, how did we meet again? Like he couldn't remember. And I'm like, no, Chef, I think it was this time. So that's how I met Gordon Ramsay.
Is he as fun as he is on TV, or is that more of a show? Or
it's definitely the shouty part, and I think he did have a reputation for being one of those very hot-headed, swearing, sort of throw things at you in the kitchen chefs. He worked for Marco Pierre White in London, who was known for that too. So he kind of grew up in that style.
Yeah. It's Levi Fair, like kitchen up until even like. We always is like young cook nowadays. Like that's what I always say. But like, up until me, like in the beginning 2000s, we still talk about a kitchen is always Levi Fair. Like a lot of times it's just too long. There's no time for you to be around the bushes. You just bark out your order and then call it a day. Like to work in a kitchen, especially like a high volume kitchen, you have to remember like nothing is personal. It's only like at that moment. You just have to get the fact that we always need to use the shortest communication time and then to deliver the most clear comments. So what do? You bark orders.
But yeah, I think I've seen him, I saw him on his show with the contestant. She was an Asian woman. She's blind, and he's very gentle with her.
I remember.
Yeah, he's very gentle.
And with the kids. With MasterChef Junior, he's very encouraging and not mean to the kids.
Yeah. I mean, like it's like we don't want to say we're not mean to people. It's just like the way we communicate. Like we need to be really fast, and then when we have time and the environment that most of chefs are really good teachers, right? Because for us, we have to break it down the steps in our own head in order to execute, because we always constantly multifunction. So when we're come to our turn to teach people, we know exactly how to break it down into smaller parts so they can absorb it very quickly. And then so most of the time, a good chef, they're always good teachers.
Yeah, no, that comes across even on TV. So you're working in the industry, and there's these big food events. What chef in your mind, and again, this is going to be hard for you because you know everybody, what chef in your mind is totally worth the hype? Like someone in the industry that has impressed you and is nice and is professional as well as just a good friend or a good person?
I know I get asked a lot, like who's the best one or who's the favorite or whatever. But I will say one person who I really, really respect in the business is Nobu. Nobu Matsuhisa. So if you know his story, it's like, it's just immigrant, opened a restaurant and, worked his way up. And now I've lost track of how many restaurants he has. It might be 50. They are all over the world, literally, I think four continents. Wow. And I've been to at least, Japan, Paris, London, Milan. So I've been to at least, 5 countries, plus the ones here in America. They are so consistent, which to me is like a mark of a really good chef is when you're not there and people are cooking your food and it's executed that consistently. But just, nice, funny, all those things. I have a funny picture. We did a charity auction lunch where we were cooking at some person paid $25,000 to have Wolfgang Puck and Nobu cook in their house. And we were cooking in their kitchen. They had an aquarium, and Nobu was holding a sushi knife. And I looked at the aquarium. I'm like, no, Nobu, you can't do that. There's a picture I have of him where he's got the knife, and he's like, I can't keep the goldfish. And he's like, yeah, okay, it's very funny.
And we know that you're good friends with Giada, and you've hung out with her a lot since she's moved to LA. Any good stories with Giada? Any memories with Giada De Laurentiis?
I mean, I hosted her baby shower in New York. Like her family had one here in LA, but then at that time when I lived in New York, I said, all these people, are asking, are you going to do something here? I'll host it. And she's like, I don't really know that many people in New York. I'm like, well, like work people, Food Network. She's like, all right. I'm like, just give me a list of names and I'll send the invitations out. And she's like, okay. She gives me a list of 40 names. I'm like, I thought, you don't know them. I mean, I have a 1-bedroom apartment. I'm like, I thought, she's like, they're not going to cut. She's like, look, it's like, it's like Hoda Kotb and Natalie Morales and Meredith Vieira. They're not going to come. She's like, I just feel like I obligate. I'm like, okay. So I mail out invitations to these people.
They all showed up.
They all RSVP, yes. So I'm like, okay, we can't do this in my apartment now. So I actually, thank goodness, had a friend who had a restaurant that was only open for dinner. So I said, okay, please, like, look at this guest list of all these famous people. It's like chefs and Food Network and Today Show. And I'm like, I just need ladies' lunch. It doesn't have to be heavy. And, he let me BYOB. So I brought in champagne and vodka just to do a couple drinks, and then nice ladies' lunch. And then he's a pastry chef. He sent out every dessert because Giada's a huge sweet tooth. So that was the baby shower I hosted her.
Yeah, it's good to have friends that are party planners.
I mean, and then I will say that is kind of like a thank you. That year for my birthday, she took me to Paris.
Yeah.
We got to go to Paris.
It also helps to have friends that are, celebrity chefs. We haven't seen any big food events for a couple years now. What do you think? Are you surveying? Are we going to see food events like that anymore, where there's 50 chefs and 2,000 people? Are we going to see those?
The smaller ones have come back, and because you can do them outdoors,
that's true.
Some people have done sort of barbecue fests or casual ones here in LA. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
If we'll ever go back to the big ones, it's risky because every time we think we're doing good, and then Omicron and Delta, it's like, so people are worried to like book travel and commit to that many things. We'll see. I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Get vaccinated, everyone.
I think so. This is like people still craving that human connection. The fact that
definitely.
The fact that Coachella announced and first weekend sold out within 1 hour. So I mean, that's 100,000 people first weekend already sold out. So that people still wants to come out. So food events, I feel like it's gonna come back. It's just.
Have you done any, Shirley, since COVID? Have you done any food festival? Yeah.
No. Yeah. Because for me, because for our restaurant, it's like we have our team, right? And then we have one single team. We can only open 5 days a week, so we only have one team to open our restaurant. So if we need to do any event, I turn it down. So like the Del Mar horse racing or something like that, they asked me if I want to do dumpling there. I'm like, no. And then Coachella asked me, you want to do Coachella? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I turn on Coachella because it's like this, and like if something happens, if they have to cancel, I need to start prepping them right now already because I do dumplings. I do house-made dumplings. So it's all about planting and people. I don't have a team to go work the Coachella. It's like a lot of trouble. Yes, it used to be great way of revenue to get that 2 weeks, a lot of cash to come in. And also my team used to love Coachella. Like everybody just go there because it's like vendors, you go there for free. So like we all take turn. So they get to see all the concerts and all those sort of things. But then now it's just like, it's almost like burden. It's not so fun to think about. So like I said no right now.
Well, if you need someone to carry your knives, Madison will carry your knives for you at Coachella.
Of course.
That's exactly like my little sister. She won as my employee. The last time Coachella was around, that's like Blackpink and everybody like Billie Eilish. is like amazing. So like that's why she's like, hey, are you still going Coachella? Like literally all my friends and families is like, hey, are you going Coachella? Because every single one of them wants to go there for free. I'm like, no.
But did your sister actually help you or?
No. She's the worst. She always take advantage of me. Like she always used me too. And I remember she was in this intern program at emergency room at USC here. Like she was here for like a month. And then she told people, do you know who my sister is? My sister is Shirley Chung from Top Chef. So she would get the shift that she wanted or follow the residents that she wanted because they all watch Top Chef. She goes, I used you today again. I was like, what? Or like, hey, can you like drop off some mochi dumpling? I'm like, no, I don't have time to drop off mochi dumpling for you. She said, oh, I just want to introduce you to my resident. I'm like,
that's so funny.
Yeah, she's totally using me.
Oh man. Well, someday when you need a medical procedure, she might be there for you.
Oh, no.
Exactly.
That's why her fiance is a dentist. Yeah, I was like, we have everything planned.
All right. Yeah, you wash one hand, washes the other, right, Shirley? So.
Yeah, I was like, I take care of your free meals, but yeah, you take care of our medical stuff.
All right, so with Shirley, we're around. What are we in 2013? When did you get into Top Chef at first?
I mean, they filmed 2013, but they actually aired 2014. Oh my god, so long ago. I feel like it's not that long ago. It's so long ago now. Think about it. Yeah, that's the first time New Orleans, season 11.
Yeah, so just to recap, they wanted you. They came to find you in Vegas, and you kept eluding them and avoiding them, but they finally got you. You even went to China. They found you in China. So they called you in, and had you watched any of those kind of shows?
I mean, like, it's not the first time they tried to recruit me already. Because like when I was chef for Carne Vino for Marco Vitale, that time it was such a big opening. Top Chef already tried to tap me, so that's like a few seasons before that. I think it was the Vegas season, the Vataggio Brothers season. Anyway, and then also Hong, who was season 2 winner, I believe, 3, I forgot. But anyway, so Hong,
3, but yeah,
Hong and we were in Guy Savoy together, like same station. I was fish station line cook. He was a sous chef at Guy Savoy. And then after Guy Savoy, I went out to work for Marco Vitale, and he went out to compete on Top Chef, and he won. And so like for me, I was like, oh man, I know somebody that already won. Like, and he told me to go on, and then I'm already like the executive chef of Las Vegas $1 million restaurants, and I got nominated for James Beard. I'm just like, it's a lot of ego problem. I was like, I'm here already. Do I really want to put myself through to compete? Like, do I really need to build a brand for myself? Like, I didn't think through. Yeah. So like, because I didn't really. Ultimately, because when I was working for people, when I was in Vegas, I didn't really think about to branch out on my own. I'm always thinking about my goal is really to be the corporate chef. So like when Jose Andres asked me, hey, do you want to be Las Vegas culinary director? I was like, oh, that's like already my lot. It's like, for me, I like reach like the top, almost the top that I wanted to. Like for the longest time when I became a chef, I always thought I just wanted to be a corporate chef. Like I just wanted to be like a VP of something. Like Gap, you know what I mean? Like that was what the VP of Gap. That's what I thought. I didn't, for as much as I love cooking and eating, I actually didn't think about I will become a restaurateur by myself until Lucky Rice. This is all Caryl involved too. So like Caryl helped her friend started this Asian festival thing called Lucky Rice. And then Lucky Rice came to Las Vegas for the first time. So a lot of California chefs actually came to Las Vegas to do this Asian food festival. It was in Cosmopolitan Hotel. And I met Charles Fan. I met Chef Charles Fan for the first time in person. And then I helped him out, like set up station and pass through health check and all those sort of things. And then, so after the festival, like we had a really great conversation in front of Wicked Spoon, the buffet, in the lobby for 2 hours. Me and Chef Charles Fan chatted for 2 hours, and the whole entire time he's pretty much talking to me, Shirley, you are beyond a corporate chef. I know you love working for Chef Jose Andres, and he's a great boss and blah, blah, but you're more than that. You really have to think through it. You are bigger than that. You will do something so much more. So you should leave. He told me to leave.
And for people who don't know, Charles is the chef owner of the Slanted Door in San Francisco.
Yes, and then he's also like really cultivating, like about building and helping young chefs to build their own names and working with young chefs and partner up, opening a restaurant in the San Francisco area. You know, like he's known for that.
Yeah.
So like we had this conversation 2013. 2013 at Lucky Rice Festival, and then so I think that kind of like put it in my head that I was like, oh, so I did half. I left Jose Andres, didn't really think about next, and then Top Chef happened. So like that was Top Chef. I was like, oh, maybe I am at capacity that I will be able to build my own name and to start my own restaurant group, and then to do something on my own. So Charles, I want to say Charles Fan planted the seed. Caryl, she brought Lucky Rice. She's the one that introduced me to because the Lucky Rice, Daniel Chan, and they all like came to Chino Bubana, have cocktail and all those sort of things. I still remember the initial meeting. I'm telling you, there's a lot of different things. A lot of times Caryl doesn't even know that she planted the seed. But a lot of my career growth is really like all connected to her. Yeah.
She's the girl behind the girl sometimes. So you're rolling into New Orleans, and what's crossing your mind here? Are you thinking I want to win this thing, or are you like I just want to get my name out there? What was kind of going through your head as you're rolling into New Orleans?
Well, at first I was just like, I better win because I know Hong. And at the same time, once I start talking to everybody, I was like, holy shit, like everybody's just like restaurant owners, executive chefs, and then people working for like Daniel, like and Medina, and like people know how to cook. I was like, there's no joke. And I was just like, what happened to Top Chef? Because because Top Chef's year grow, like the time that Hong competed. Yeah. He competed against culinary students. And he was a sous chef of Lisa Watt and then working per se. You know what I mean? What he won was that. And then by the time that my season competed, everybody, there's two sous chefs that at that time was sous chef, they all lost. Like the first two rounds, like all the sous chefs were all gone. Like every single one all knew how to cook. And so it was just battle. I just didn't, and then I didn't really think about, I have no idea about brand building or anything like that. All I wanted to do is I just need to make it one episode at a time, one challenge at a time, and then win it. So therefore that the first time around when I was on Top Chef, I actually won a lot more challenges, but I didn't build my brand. Like I didn't know who I was. Like people don't know what kind of food I cook. I have no concept of what is the brand building. Like all I wanted to do is and also I cannot agree with myself that I'm Chinese American, that Chinese American food is what I wanted to cook. Like I cannot put that idea into my head. And I was like, no, I do not cook Chinese food. Like I'm always like, I know, like my best subject is French and I cook Italian, I was part of opening Italy, this giant project. You know what I mean? Like, I have so much of this Italian French knowledge, and then why I don't want to cook Chinese food. I never trained Chinese food, right? So I have a self battle myself too. And then throughout Top Chef, the first time as I'm cooking, and I'm realizing every single dish that I was creating it doesn't matter what kind of technique I use, but there's always a piece of me. There's always a piece of Chinese ingredient I will always add to it. And it sometimes it's soy sauce and then fermented black bean, or it's special vegetables, or it's a little trick or something like that. It's Chinese cuisine, or I do a fresh noodle but with Italian sauce, all those sort of things. And I realized I was like, this is how I cook. So it sounds really cheesy, but by the end of Top Chef, first time on season 11 is actually where I found my culinary voice. I was like, oh, I cook modern American food, but always with a Chinese soul. So that kind of became, and I realized, oh, this is my cooking. I found myself. I knew exactly what kind of food I cook now because I always work for other chefs. So I always translating other chefs' vision. They tell me I'm opening an Italian steakhouse. So according to that, I'll create. They tell me I want to open a taqueria, a noodle dumpling side by side. So according to their vision, I create. But our Top Chef is how I feel. This is my vision. And it actually is my response. That's why it's better, because it's reaction. It's how I reacted at that moment. I didn't really think. I didn't really plan. It's my body just go through that. So it's actually more me, and this is my true cooking.
It's your DNA.
I think that's one thing about Top Chef is you'll hear the judges at judges' table say, I want to see more of you in this dish. I want to know who you are. They do constantly kind of try to pull that from the chef testants. So I think it is kind of cathartic. It does kind of bring that out.
Yeah. And I also, one of the first time I was on Top Chef competing, I realized something that I'd done, that every time if I try to redo an old recipe that I'd done before, to play safe in a way, I'm, even though I'm never on the bottom, but I never win. I can never win with a dish that I did before. Every single time I won a challenge is always I create on the spot. Like I'm really feeling it. And then, so like every single winning dish is always a new dish for me. Like, so like from that, and then I realized, and I also like being on Top Chef is always kind of like a confidence builder too, because throughout my career, because I came from the Silicon Valley, so even though like every single chef job that I got, I always move up really fast, but I always thought it was my operational skill. It's because I was always the one that did all the paperwork. I answered all the emails and I organized all the recipes, and then I did food costs perfectly because, you know, I'm really great at math and I have corporate background and all those sort of things. So I never think about it was my palate, it was my cooking, it was my, you know, I can multitask, the way I create, the way I tell my story through food. I mean, I didn't really think about it. That was my talent as a chef. But being the first time being on Top Chef made me realize I was like, I'm really good. My palate is better than most people. And then like when I come to create, because of my background, who I was, and then I can bring this special piece into my food. And I really enjoy using food as a platform to tell my story and then tell that moment, and then to have people connect to me through my food at that moment. So things like that, I was like, oh, this is my ability. So like Top Chef actually gave me confidence and made me realize that I'm a great chef.
Yeah, that's a cool
Not
story.
just a great chef operator.
Yeah.
Now, how do you prepare for a show? Like, do you have like your husband just throw out crazy challenges to you, or can you prepare at all, or you just show up and hope for the best?
So for Top Chef, it's very different because Top Chef is really, there's no weird things, you know, like, because then I'm on top tournament champion now. So it's like a different competing mentality. Is very different how you play the game ultimately. But Top Chef, because there's a quick fire challenge, they also have long challenges, but every single challenge, the time is real. You have to create at that moment and based on how you feel, and create based on ingredients and all those sort of things. So I really wanted to say that, like, there's a lot of chefs try to memorize recipes and then try to recreate and all those sort of things. Those chefs never last. Like, it's true. So it's chefs like us that at that moment we already know, like the recipe is part of us. It's our reaction to food like this, to create this dish like that. Like there's no, I mean, like sometimes you will see, right? Like every single one of us all have this, like I'll try to memorize olive oil cake for dessert and a panna cotta for dessert because we're safe chefs. We know if we make it to restaurant world, and then there's a chance that you have to do dessert, right? Like, so yeah, savory chefs, so we all try to memorize a couple of dessert recipes in our head. So when we get to that, then we do. But as we compete, especially me, I learned to that, hey, I don't bake a cake normally. Why am I going to make a cake when I'm competing? You know what I mean? So I made rice pudding. I made frozen ice, like shaved ice, and the things that I normally do anyways. Sometimes as a savory chef. So it really is like, Top Chef is a competition that really showcases exactly where your cooking skill set at. And then you have to be able to really quick to think on your feet. So if you're the type of chef that creative, a really great chef, but take you a while to create this thing, your thinking process is kind of slow, Top Chef is not meant for you. Like you have to be certain type of chef that you're great, but you have to be quick on your feet and you can be able to adapt to different scenarios really quick and don't stuck there. Because a lot of times for me, it's like, when I compete, I lose something, is not the other person's fault. Is not the other person is better than me. Is I messed up. Like I'm always constantly competing the best of myself. So only I can mess myself up. I can only lose to myself. I don't lose to anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, you can't control. Yeah.
So this type of chef will go further when you're competing on Top Chef. You have to be able to cook with what you have and not to last minute try to learn something. Is not going to work.
Yeah. Is there something that as viewers that we don't know about Top Chef? Is there something behind the scenes that you can tell us is Like, are you guys actually friends, or how does it go behind the scenes, and
we're
or
really close. So we always describe like our Top Chef family, the people that we competed against, is like we got cryovac together, we got vacuum packed together. We have no choice, and we have to like react and to be super close to each other. And then after you vacuum pack, and then you release the bag, and then we become compressed vegetables, or like we super marinated. So we got each other's essence completely absorbed into each other already for a lifetime. So like for the good chefs, there's a couple of bad apples that we don't talk to because they do something horrible on the show. So there's one or two chefs that we don't talk to at all. But for majority of them, we have a chat group on WhatsApp. Even to this day, especially my season 14, like the second time around, we're still constantly at least talk once a week right now. This is 6 years later, once a week. And as throughout pandemic, it was a really good helping group that we exchange policies, informations, and then support. So it's like mentally is really good, a support group it's like mental health wise. And then also the other seasoned chefs, or like the chefs that we coach or we judge throughout other seasons, is that once we're coming to this Top Chef big family, we always do like collaboration with each other. We just become like automatically friends, pretty much.
Yeah.
We're really friendly towards each other.
Do you have an episode that stands out in your mind as kind of your favorite, or one that you'll never forget?
I mean, like I think my episode is the Asian American episode that's before Crazy Rich Asian came out. A lot of people all say is the most Asian scene you saw on television. It was my Top Chef season 14 finale. I didn't win, I lost. But during that finale, that like my sister, my mom, my husband, they were all there. Like my mom doesn't really speak that much English, so she asked at the dining table. I didn't tell her to do that. Like actually at the dining table, she asked my sister, "How do you say in Chinese?" She asked, "How do you say I'm proud of you in English?" So she said that in 可不可以告诉我我要怎么跟你姐姐说我为你骄傲 right? So she said that in Chinese, and they kept it all. And then my sister translated, and then so when I came out to greet everybody, to thank the audience after my whole entire meal, presented my menu, and then like went up to my mom, and then the first thing she said was in English. She said, "I'm very proud of you." I was like, and so we cried. Yeah. So that was 100%. It was like amazing.
Waterworks.
Yeah. So that was like the moment, right? And then like, but the funny thing is, like later on, a lot of people always talk about, oh, like your mom must be so proud of you. Now you're being a celebrity chef, and blah, 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 right? So I was like, you guys don't know. She's more proud of me for being a celebrity. Figure away the shop. Because even till this day, I mean, now she's a lot better. Like she sees, like how we fight through COVID with our restaurant, we're still surviving, and she's really proud of us and stuff. But up until COVID and all those sort of things, or up until Miss She opening, she still always asks me, hey, so I see you do this television. You're like shooting commercial now. You're doing this. So you just do television now, right? You don't have to cook anymore, right? Like you don't have to be so tired, slaving away, like, spend your time in the kitchen, all those sort anymore. You can just be a celebrity now, right? Like, so that's my mom's dream, is always to be a stage mom. So I'm very happy that like now she's like, her dream came true. Like she was be able to do her stage mom thing.
Shirley did a car commercial. Shirley did a car commercial in 2 languages.
Yeah, I did Toyota Venza commercial in Chinese and English. They're playing like you see it in like Chinese radio, not radio stations, TV stations, and all those sort of things. And that, so like the focus, like advertisement or something like that, if you accidentally talk about Toyota while you on Facebook, then in Chinese or something, like your Toyota commercial will come up. It will be me, like because you're Chinese, and then you talk about, hey, 你们今天有没有听说这个 Toyota 怎么样啊 The next thing is like Shirley Chung with Toyota Venza. I forgot the Chinese commercial already.
We should try that. Oh man.
Mom is so proud. You don't understand, like that TV commercial. 2 things. My cookbook. One thing is my cookbook. So publish a book, and also I'm on TV commercial, like commercial that she can tell her friend, hey, did you see my daughter today? I saw her 3 times. Like those are the things that she is so proud of. Like James Beard, like your daughter cooking James Beard house. Who cares? Whatever. She's nominated for James Beard. Okay, whatever. Best dumpling LA Times. Okay, sure, whatever. But publish a book and also you have a car commercial. So proud. So proud.
That's awesome. So how has Top Chef changed your life? It sounds like it was probably one of the more important things that's ever happened to you.
No, 100%. Like a Top Chef put me on the platform. Like fast forward my career. So I cannot thank you enough. I'm very thankful that like being part of Top Chef family. 100%. I'm one of those that like, I love Top Chef. Thank you, Top Chef.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the current and the future. It's a little hard right now. I mean, you guys are hustling. I like the hustle. You're going with, going on Goldbelly and going with NFTs.
Cryptocurrency.
But where do you see the food industry going? I know over the holidays, Caryl was asking me to recommend some TikTok cooks and stuff like that. Like, where do you see the industry going right now? Is it's changing for good, or is it, are we just in a weird time right now?
I mean, I wanted to say changing for goods. We're shoveling. So like for the people that's not very, like for people that not willing to change or don't know how to change is 100% is going to fall behind. So I really wanted to almost using this opportunity to like a facelift of our industry that make us look at everything very differently and realizing that just have a physical store and that a lot of times is not enough revenue just to a physical restaurant is not enough anymore. See, a lot of us have like the online store and then now we try to have like restaurants and dumpling in the metaverse, in the NFT world. So, so I think it's good. Like we have to move forward. So I wanted to be optimistic, right? And then and then also the fact that our hospitality field are willing to pay our staff a lot more now, I think is also really, really great because we deserve it. So like our team deserve it. And then so the fact that people's willing to pay more when they're dining out and be more understanding. And then also it's just like, I feel like our business as a whole, because of pandemic, people are more willing to get understanding and then to see how difficult, how small a margin in the hospitality is at. Hopefully this is all for good because either way, we need to constantly continue to move forward. We should never just sit here and be comfortable. So hospitality, restaurant industry, it's been long due for something new and something revolutionary. So I'm really hoping that after pandemic, there's a lot of different things and concepts coming out. It's really doing like moving our industry forward.
Yeah. And Caryl, you have a new project, right? You're working on, what do you call it? It's not a food hall. It's more of a...
It's a combination. It's a hybrid. So there is a food hall component to it. And then there's also like a virtual kitchen or a ghost kitchen component. So it's called Partake. The first one we're building is in Long Beach, California, down here. And it's 25 commercial kitchens for rent. Some are full commercial kitchens with a hood, and then some are prep kitchens, which is no hood. So it means you can have like a microwave or, smaller things, but no big ranges. So ideally, people who wanted to start a food business, maybe they're making granola or kimchi, maybe they're starting a pop-up, they're catering, they only need a small kitchen space. They don't have a full restaurant or they can't afford a full restaurant. They would rent one of these small kitchens. And then at our location, customers could order the food and sit down and eat in the food hall, or they could take it to go, or they could call Uber, DoorDash, or some of those other apps and get the food delivered to them. So it's kind of, I honestly think it's going to be good. It's good for the times because it's kind of whatever you're comfortable with. The next couple of years may still be a little fluctuating. So it's probably good to have some options.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I'm working on.
Yeah. Sounds good. Shirley, what's on tap for Miss Chi Cafe? You already have one satellite. Are you looking at more satellite locations?
Yeah, we're looking for location, hopefully for Mr. Chi, that Jimmy wants to open like cocktail-driven fun. But I'm actually been working on Dumpling Mafia concept. So I wanted to do a hybrid of B2B and B2C. A lot of my friends either cannot afford a prep cook to make dumplings for them at Asian restaurants, or like the co-packing house that they used to work with got bought up or ran out of business through pandemic. So like I feel like that part, that prepare food, white labeling, wholesale is a big part. And then I am building a brand when it comes to dumpling. So I wanted to say I like to eat, produce, I sell, distribute, just like a dumpling mafia. I critique dumpling too. I have digital dumplings, so it really makes sense. And I sell a lot of dumpling retail on GoBelly, so it really makes sense for me to go into wholesale. So that's my next step, is going to manufacturing.
Yeah, wow. All right. So exciting times, tough times, but you know, if you're able to pivot and able to think outside the box, there's opportunities. People still love food. That hasn't gone away.
People gotta eat.
People gotta eat.
Exactly. So how are you going to get the great quality food into their stomach?
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming along and talking with us. Caryl, like when I first started this podcast back in June 2021, I ran it past Caryl, and she's like, oh, I can get you this person, I can get you this person, I can get you this person. And I was like, Caryl, you know I don't know what I'm doing, right? I have no clue what I'm doing, and I wanted to get some more experience before we brought on some of Carol's connected friends. But thank you for bringing along Shirley's family. Yay. So I wasn't as nervous because Shirley's a relative of mine. But thank you both for coming along. It was really fun hearing all your stories, and I promised a Caryl takeover. So now that my audience knows Caryl, the next time she comes on, she may just run with it and do whatever she wants on these shows. So thank you, Caryl, for coming on. Thank you, Shirley.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, my pleasure. And once again, if you want to become part of the Dumpling Mafia, you gotta go online, go onto their Instagram at Dumpling Mafia NFT, or just search it up. Just search up Dumpling Mafia NFT on Google, and they'll pop up. And if you sign up and you become part of the Mafia before February 17th, you can maybe do a little live cooking with Shirley on the 17th for Lunar New Year. Anything else we need to talk about?
Yeah, you get a complimentary Gold Belly dumpling kit sent to you, and then you can log on to Zoom and do the virtual cook along with Shirley. And it's time to Chinese New Year. We had to push it back a little bit because of time crunch, but it'll now be sort of Lantern Festival. But yeah.
We celebrate Lunar New Year. We celebrate month long. So
all month.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then also
True.
At least for Chinese culture, that is especially, well, Chinese culture as a whole, Northern China eats jiaozi and Southern China eats the round tangyuan, right? Like, so my dumpling kit include both ends. And then so you get to have dessert, you get to have savory, and then also like to celebrate and visiting family, like you want to bring gifts. So what's the best gift can bring is dumplings.
Bring the dumplings.
Physical and virtual teach you how to make. So we cover all the ground.
And they're symbolic of little purses, right? The bags of money.
Bags of money. Correct. And also people NFT is really a young world. So a lot of NFT players are high school kids, junior high kids. And a lot of our friends actually purchasing NFT to give it to their kids as gifts. So our characters are really cute. It's like street artists created with us. So it's all great for all ages.
All right. And the guy over at Angry Asian Man, he said, "Hey, everyone who celebrated New Year's on January 1st, that was the pregame. The pregame for New Year's. The real New Year's is coming February 2nd, right? February 1st, February 2nd, one of those two. And so we're ready for the Lunar New Year because that's going to bring good luck, good fortune, good health to everyone. Pandemic's going to be over.
Hey, Fat Choi.
Yeah.
Yeah, Xinyan Kuaila, everyone out there. Thank you for listening. If you want to write to us and you have a message for my sister or Shirley, I'll pass it along to them. You can write to us at infatuationpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at The Infatuation Podcast. For Shirley, what was it again? It was Chef Shirley Chung with no E in chef, right?
Yeah. CHF Shirley Chung.
CHF Shirley Chung. And for Caryl Chin, it's just CARYLCHINN. And you'll find her. Mm-hmm. Thank you both for coming along. Super fun talking to you guys.
Thanks for having us.
We'll do it again.
I want some dumplings.
Yeah, now I want some dumplings. Next time, Shirley, we've got to do a live broadcast from your restaurant. We'll do it while we're eating dumplings. That'll be more fun.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for coming along, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
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 Thanks, everyone.
She's so much fun, huh?
Yeah, but she was very intimidating.
You really?
Well, just for me, because she's such like a vibrant personality. So I feel like I wanted to ask her questions, but then I was just like, I just awkwardly sitting here because I'm too scared.
Well, with someone like Shirley, you can just sit back and listen, Mm-hmm. She's just fun to listen to.
Yeah, for sure, though. I didn't even know that they were that up there.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, we're coming up. Infatuation.
Actually, I looked up Shirley Chung, so I knew that she was pretty, up there. But like your sister's killing it.
Yeah, she's behind the scenes. Like she's not.
That's like what I want to do.
Okay.
Within music, like I want to kill it behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Not so much in the forefront. I mean, maybe a little bit, like Jack Antonoff, but that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they're in the industry. My sister's pretty well known behind the scenes.
Wait.
And then, once you get on TV, Shirley's really well known.
So, like, does Chef Ramsay, like, know her name?
Yeah.
No way.
They're not like friends, but...
No, but, like, he, like, knows of her, right?
Oh, or, like, would recognize they work her? Together.
That's cool.
Yeah. Almost all the celebrity people know my sister from all the events that she did in
That's sick.
The last 25 years. Yeah, no, that's why when we first started the podcast, she was like, oh, I can get you this chef or this chef or this chef. And I wasn't ready to do interviews yet.
Yeah. No, but like if they offer, you should really say yes, because you have people. It's just a matter of like, accepting it and like being brave.
That's true.
But I think that like you're doing great for the amount of time that like, because you just pretty much like started recently and we're like growing relatively fast. Well, like not from like a social media point, but like
podcast point.
Yeah, like the people that we feature on the show is like
Yeah, I mean, and podcasts don't grow like YouTube channels, and because it's a commitment, like YouTube or TikTok, you just click on it and you just keep scrolling. With podcasts, you have to commit, you commit a pretty good amount of time. And so we're never going to grow like that. Mm-hmm. But we're chipping away. We're getting new listeners every week, I think. Not that I can tell, but our numbers are slightly bigger every week, which is where you want to be going.
I think it's like it's really encouraging to me, like talking to Sabrina and like your sister and Shirley, because I just see them as like successful people doing like sort of more unconventional jobs that like less traditional jobs, like not a doctor, not a lawyer, not like corporate or something, and like being successful at it and like starting later in life at it too.
Yeah. Most of them had to change the similar stories. Like, well, I studied economics to please my parents, and then they pivot into the arts or something.
Because it's just like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, I know that I'm still young, but I took a break from music for a really long time. And so I'm like, I'm no prodigy. Like, I'm not going to be able to make it because people who make it in music are already like 10 times better than me by now, which is like true. But at the same time, like I've been learning, it's never too late.
Yeah. And you don't know. You really don't know.
Exactly.
So who knows, man? Maybe podcasting will be your future.
Yeah. Maybe.
But people like listening to you, that's for sure. Now, I've gotten definitely a couple comments about more Madison, less you.
I think I just need to step out of my shell a bit.
Well, and then, maybe we got to do some more stuff where you're a little more confident too, like music stuff or topics that you like.
Yeah, I feel like for like arts related things, those definitely get me to talk more, because like for the whole chef like cooking stuff, like that's so interesting for me to listen to, but it's just like I can't relate to it in any way. I'm just thinking about like my uncle who's a chef, and I'm just like,
yeah. And you don't really know the names that they were dropping, you know, like Savoy.
Exactly, but
Batali,
I still think it's really cool.
Yeah. No, and like you said, it's you don't necessarily want to become a chef, but her journey and her mindset.
Exactly.
Stuff you can definitely learn from.
There's always something that I can learn from anyone who does anything. Like how, you know, I was when we were talking to Sabrina, like connecting photography to music. I know that's like, it's easier to connect those two than like cooking and music, but like still, there's always something to learn from people.
Yeah, there's a lot of overlaps in the creative process.
Exactly.
Because chefs are creators, you know?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking when Shirley was talking about like concocting, you know, her ideas on the spot and like,
but letting it be her.
And like how it's like a reflection of her. Like then I start to see like, oh, honestly, it's sort of like self-expression.
That process. Yeah. And all three of them, you know, Sabrina, Caryl, and Shirley are all entrepreneurs, you know, they all kind of started their own business.
Yeah. And that's
so
sort of
cool.
honestly, as a musician, like you're pretty much your own business. You have to like market yourself and stuff. So it's like, there's always something to take away.
Yeah.
From...
Oh, and Miranda Kwok too.
Exactly.
You know, you didn't meet her, but yeah, you know, she just clawed her way
up.
Yeah,
listening to her thing, I would have loved to join that one. I really honestly should have just like skipped this period.
Yeah. And she was so nice. Did you hear how nice she was?
She sounds so humble and genuine. And you know what? She requested me on my Instagram.
Did she? What?
I was like, she doesn't like, she only follows.
She's following you?
Well, no, I didn't accept her yet. I didn't accept you either because like, I don't want you to be weirded out by what I post. I'm like mentally preparing for adults to like see my stuff. But
that's true.
Anyways.
Okay. Yeah. No, you should definitely accept Miranda. Accept Miranda.
No, I will, but she requested me and I was like, I'm a nobody. Like, you only follow like 200 people. Why are you?
Wow.
She was that impressed. She was that impressed by my reel.
Yeah.
Because
she didn't even meet you.
She reposted it. I was like, yo.
Wait, she did? She reposted it? What?
I know. Like, I know, because upstairs I was freaking out. I was like, no way. No way.
Man.
No way. Do you see that?
Oh, man. Nice.
Legend. Look at me. I'm so famous.
You are. No, I'm telling you, the listeners out there are like, okay, well, now the podcast has started, now that Madison's on board.
Because, like, I don't know. I was so surprised she requested me because, like, that's just so weird.
That's cool, though.
Yeah, no, I'm so...
She's up there, man. Like, she's not, you know, she's an executive producer and she's making shows.
I know. She's like what I want to be, but for film. Like, behind the scenes, like, you know, being a creator. Like, she's basically like the backbone. And also, I was looking at the cast, and I know people who are on the cast. Yeah? And Shay Mitchell, who I love, is also an executive producer. I was like, that is so sick.
She found the idea.
That's incredible. Like, when I was listening to, I don't know why. Like, I was thinking of Shay Mitchell when I saw the trailer, but then I was, when I was editing, I was like listening to what she had to say, and I was like, oh my God, that's crazy.
She was involved. Yeah. I was so nervous. Did you hear how nervous I was? No, all those heavy breaths.
Exactly. I was like,
you're like, we have
hey, so today we.
Oh man. No, I was having a heart attack. I was having a moment, man. I was kind of like, oh man, I'm bombing this.
It's just a person.
Yeah. No, I think it came out after you edited. I think it came out okay. But man.
Also, like the way you put all your words together. Like,
I know. I just wanted to get. I was just trying to get the question out as fast as possible. And,
you would also combine words like, let's get a rap 19.
You weren't there, man. It was intimidating because she's a pro, man. She's and then she's a Hollywood pro.
And then she's so calm and collected, like, yes, I am so excited.
Thanks for having me.
Hello, Melanie.
I know.
And you're
We're
like,
a bunch of clowns.
Chef Mary, I want to be recommended dumpling place.
I think she instantly regretted it when she realized how small time we were. She was kind of like, oh, these amateurs. But she was so nice. And she stuck it out. But you ever just have a conversation with someone and it's just not going well, and you feel like you're sinking. That was how I was feeling. Like I was feeling like I was bombing it. But she pulled through. She had good answers.
Also, like I was thinking the whole entire time I was editing the podcast, like I hope you know that this is how students feel when we have to present or like take tests, like dying.
I know. It's all confidence, I think it's just...
I do not have that.
Yeah.
But I think this is really good for me.
I think it is. Yeah, I think you're going to get used to talking, having opinions, and having people listen to them.
Because, it's honestly really hard for me to talk. Like, even in class, I do not say anything. I'm just like... I know. And Deanna's always like, Madison, just say it. Like, you got the answer right. I'm like, nope.
Like, I don't even know if are you in my class? I don't even know.
Exactly. It's like literally just shivering in the back corner with my hood over my head.
Literally shivering.
No, yeah.
With the windows open. Yeah, no, I think you just got to work on, your confidence. And that comes with experience and it comes with practice, So the more times you have to express your opinion, the more you'll get used to hearing your own voice and stuff. So, yeah. I was a painfully shy kid when I was little.
That's crazy because all you have to do for your job now is talk.
All I do is talk. Yeah. So, but when I was in, all the way up through 8th grade, I was pretty shy. I was really, really shy.
Wait, did your sister go to Lowell?
Yeah, so she was at Lowell when I got there, and so that helped to have her kind of know people already.
Of course she went to Lowell. Was that even a question?
Oh man, you know what killed her though is that I started to get kind of build up a little bit of
popularity,
and then there was some kid, and so she was a senior and I was a freshman, and there was some kid who was like, "Oh, that's Curtis's sister," and that made her so mad. She's like, "No, he's my brother."
That's so funny.
Oh man. So anyway, so that was fun. I think we'll have her do another episode. Like she can get us. A lot of her friends are chefs, and so next time we want to do a chef show, she can get us some names.
Yeah, and I feel like even I feel like talking to chefs attracts a lot of people, because it's because everybody loves food. Like my parents,
like rock stars,
everybody, it's just a part of culture and a part of life. Like my parents watch, cooking shows, even though they're not pros or anything.
Well, if you listen to our first hour, that's what it was. In the 90s, it was kind of like people just like the food. But then in the 90s, it was about, I'm going to so-and-so's restaurant, Wolfgang Puck's restaurant, Jeremiah Towers' restaurant. Like the celebrity chef thing it was a thing. Like before, the chefs were just kind of people in the back who never came out of the kitchen and were never seen. But then Food Network came in the 90s and, people realized these big personalities are making this food. And like you said, everyone wants to be friends with a chef because they throw the best parties. They know how to order wine. They know how to cook food. So it's good times when you have friends that are chefs.
Does your sister live in LA?
Yeah, she's in LA. So she hangs out with some people down there.
And Shirley.
Shirley's in LA too. Yeah.
If you guys ever have family events, are you ever scared to make food?
No, actually, Caryl just started cooking maybe during the pandemic. Like she has always eaten really good food and knows good food, but she wasn't a real cook. And then the pandemic has really forced her to cook for herself and for her boyfriend. And so they've been cooking a lot, especially Asian food. Like she's been experimenting with Asian food. So yeah, she wasn't for the longest time a snooty cook or anything. She knows good food, but yeah, I mean, with Shirley, she's a real chef, so she's trained. So, yeah, that'd be intimidating.
Wait, did you guys grow up with her, or they just met within the industry?
Yeah, and Shirley's much younger. Yeah, they met in the industry.
Oh.
Actually, today's the first day I've talked to Shirley. I've never met her before.
Oh, I'm so surprised.
Yeah, she's so easygoing though. She's so easy to get to know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my sister doesn't introduce me to her famous friends.
Who do you think's her most famous friend?
I mean, they're all in the. Well, you'll like this. One time in New York, they were kind of having a birthday party for my sister, and John Mayer showed up, and his birthday is also in October.
Okay, little guitarist.
Yeah, right.
Except among the Swifties, we don't like him.
Oh,
There's a song about him
Okay.
called Dear John.
He's a little shady. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
but
yeah.
he's a great musician. He's great guitarist.
On a personal level.
Yeah, we have beef on a personal level, but he doesn't know it. But like I do admire him. Like I actually keep up with some of his stuff. There's this guitar teacher at Berklee College of Music that I watch because he taught John Mayer. So
they had a birthday party together in New York.
That's incredible.
But they're not friends. But
yeah, but still, that's like a really odd experience that nobody would ever have.
Exactly. Yeah. No, she's had some celebrity hangouts that are
What about like cooking events for celebrities?
Yeah. No, she's met a lot of people. They're not necessarily friends, but she's met a lot of celebrities. Yeah. So I have met no one. But it's kind of cool through the podcast, though. I feel like I could, like, I've commented on some of Miranda's posts, and so she knows who we are now.
How long did it take her to follow you? Like instantly?
I don't think she follows us.
She does.
Oh, or our podcast one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. She follows our but I'm not on my personal one. She's not following. She's following your personal one.
Oh yeah, but how long did it take her to follow the podcast?
I don't remember.
I'm so surprised.
Yeah, you should definitely accept. You should definitely
accept. What? Hey.
Anyway, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, and well, let's wrap this up. I think we had a good episode. I think you'll enjoy the first hour. Shirley has some crazy stories there too. Just funny. Just some funny stories. A lot of the stuff that but she the sound's going to be an issue.
The whole time I was like, "Oh my god. I don't know what I'm going to do."
I think it'll be I don't think it'll clip cuz I think I had her turn down her Zoom.
Actually, I thought that was her with an unadjusted Zoom level. That's why I commented. I was like,
I think I asked her to turn it down.
It's okay.
But she talks really loud. Yeah, the content is there. So again, content is king.
Content is king.
So we can clean it up, but overall what she says is good, so that's going to matter most.
Good to hear.
So I'll cut it up a little bit and I'll let you do the second hour, which will be fun because you were there.
Yeah.
So all right, well, go do some homework.
Go study for the AP bio test.
Oh, yeah. Oh, did I tell you I'm recording another episode on Thursday?
For what?
Do you know Matt Allen? He teaches special ed at Galileo. But I want to get an episode in the books in case one of my guests flakes out. So I'm going to have an extra episode just in case we need one, a backup episode.
What are you guys going to talk about?
He started a CrossFit gym in China.
That is so random.
Super random. But I think, but since, people are working out after the New Year's, trying to lose a little winter weight and stuff. So I thought it'd be kind of a fun episode. And he's a personality. He's a crazy, I keep saying crazy. He's a really fun personality.
Wait, like how does he monitor it and run it?
No. He lived in China, but now he's back here.
Oh, but he has people running it for him?
I don't know if he still owns it, but he started it.
Interesting.
So yeah, it'll be fun. And he said he was the first CrossFit gym in Xi'an, China.
Wow, legend.
Yeah, so anyway, so that'll be Thursday. I'm going to record that live. I think I'm going to try to record that at school.
Nice.
And not Zoom. So we'll see how that goes. I got to try out the sound. But anyway, so we'll have that episode. I edited the Chinese New Year's one with my friend Jenny about the movie. We'll have this one. We got a lot going on.
Yeah.
So good times though.
So many tests on Friday. So excited. I love school.
You'll be great. You'll be fine.
At least I got everything right on the pop quiz, even though it was easy. But still, was a little bit scared.
That's something.
Exactly. Well, I'll see you.
Okay. Bye.